As millennials, we have gotten into this very bad habit of calling everybody our friend. People we work with are our friends. People we go to school with are our friends. Our real friends are our friends. Someone we met across the street, we refer to them as, oh, this friend of mine. And while on the surface, that doesn't really seem like it's an issue, when you actually unpack that and when you understand where that's coming from, you'll actually start to see how destructive this idea that everybody is your friend actually is. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bianca. I'm a licensed mental health counselor who specializes in cognitive behavioral therapy. And at this point in time, I've done over 7,000 therapy sessions. I've worked with hundreds of people one on one. I've reached thousands and thousands of people globally through my podcast, through the business that I helped start, and through my one on one work. And this is something that I see time and time again. And this is honestly something that I struggled with in my own life is wanting everyone to be a friend because we believe it means that we're a good and a nice person. When everybody is your friend, or when you live by this idea that everybody is your friend, it's really stemming from this notion of wanting to be liked, wanting to be accepted, wanting to be wanted. And again, on the surface, that doesn't really seem like an issue, right? Oh, this person, they're just super nice. But what happens when you're too nice to everybody? What happens when everybody is a friend? What you end up doing is you don't set any boundaries. When you're super nice because you're afraid of hurting people, or you're afraid of not being liked, or you're afraid of someone thinking something negatively about you, what you end up doing is you disclose way too much information. You give it all away. People learn that they don't have to respect you and that they can kind of just do whatever you want because you're the nice one. They don't have to put effort into you. They don't have to try. They don't have to climb the ladder and earn your love or earn your respect because you don't want to be seen in a negative light. So, what I'm going to be diving into is how do you actually build relationships and how do you make sure that not everybody is a friend, that you're calling an acquaintance, you're calling a coworker, and you're calling your real friends your friend. Because when you can actually call your real friend a friend, it has more meaning to it. It's like if everything is a fish, then nothing is a fish. If everything is amazing, then nothing is really amazing. So when we can give something its proper and appropriate label, and honestly, when we fight and work through that fear and that feeling of not being liked, we can actually build real, meaningful, sustainable relationships that actually get us and give us what we need. What I'm going to dive into now are the 4 levels of relationships, what it's supposed to look like, and how you can show up in that, and what you can expect from other people so that you can have the relationship be at the level it's supposed to be. And so you can actually build real and meaningful relationships. So, number one, the very first base layer of relationships is an acquaintance. An acquaintance is someone that you know basic and general information about. You might know their name, you might know a couple of very high level details about them, but it's not really much more than that. This isn't somebody that you're spending a consistent amount of time with and you're sharing your deep dark secrets with them and they know the innermost parts of you and vice versa. This is somebody who you just have general and basic information and or knowledge about, like a coworker, like somebody that you might have went to school with, like your brother's best friend's sister's cousin who you just happen to know. These people you'll say niceties to, you'll have pretty surface level dialogue and conversations with, but it's only that. We have thousands of acquaintances. We know hundreds and thousands of people, and we end up crossing paths with these people all throughout our lives. So if all of them are a friend, then who are the people that you actually are friends with? Again, it loses its value. It loses its significance, and you lose that sense that I am a person worth getting to know. I am a person worth someone putting in effort to get to know me. Because if everybody's a friend and you're just giving it all away to anybody and everybody, then nobody has to actually work toward getting to know you, which means you don't believe that you're a person worth putting the effort into. And this is where really low self-worth and low self-esteem start to come into play, and why they build on each other so much. Because if everybody is your friend, then nobody has to put in effort to get to know you. And when people don't put in effort, it signifies to us that we don't matter. And we start to believe that that's true because nobody's doing it. When the reality and when the truth is, you're not requiring them to. You're giving it all away. And if you want to be somebody of worth, of value, then you keep your acquaintances as acquaintances. The next layer is a casual friend. So we probably have 50 to 100 casual friends. I think it's Dunbar's principle. I think I'm getting that wrong, but whatever. Dunbar's principle states that we only can keep information of about 150 people total. Anything more than that, and we can't actually have any sort of meaningful relationship with this person. So Dunbar's principle is about 150. So between 50 and 150 people, you might consider a casual friend. So what this looks like, and again, this is the next layer up. So acquaintances, you know, basic, superficial, general information about them. You're having very casual, not at all meaningful conversations. You'll talk about sports, you'll talk about the weather, talk about what you're doing at work if you work together. You know their name. That's about it. A casual friend, on the other hand, is somebody that you know a little bit more information about. This is someone that you are potentially spending time with. This is someone that you will engage in experiences with. You guys might hang out, you might go do activities together, you might even take trips together if it's in a big group. But this is, again, not somebody that you're sharing the deepest parts of your soul with. This is somebody that you can have a good time with, and you know a little bit more information about them, but it's not a deep level of intimacy. There's not a deep connection there. You're not going to have your whole life be fulfilled by this person. So you can call this person a casual friend, but they're not a friend. They're not a best friend. So casual friends, you might have fun experiences with. You might have interactions based on those experiences. You might have shared interests and hobbies because you've talked about it, but that's about it. You're not getting any deeper than that. That's why you can have about 150 of them, because our brain can store information on that many people because it's still relatively surface level. Do not share deep information with these people. I was the queen of this. I was like, I'm just going to tell you everything about me and hope you stay. And it pushed people away, because when you only have a casual friendship that is supposed to be built on fun experiences or just similar interests and hobbies, and you're talking about the inner depths of your being, they're like, you're pushing a boundary there, buddy. It causes a rupture because there's this shared understanding that we don't do that here. We can go a tiny bit deeper and talk about interests, but we're not going to be debating, you know, religion and philosophy and these deeper concepts, or, you know, why the universe works the way that it does. That's not the dialogue that you're going to be having here. And I messed up in that so badly. That's why I had no friends back in the day, because I had acquaintances and close relationships that I was trying to go to level 4 with. And they were like, we're not, that's not what this is. We're not close like that. It kind of feels like a violation to the other person. So when you're insecure, like I was, and you didn't believe people wanted you around and nobody wants to be your friend, so you try to force relationships because you just want to be loved so badly. When you want people to like you, when you want friends, you end up unintentionally violating the boundaries of other people. You're not building a relationship in the way that it's supposed to be built through time and consistency. You're forcing your way into deeper levels of intimacy, and that really pushes people away. It makes people very uncomfortable. It's like if a random person tried to come into your house. It's like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? I didn't give you permission to come this close. I didn't give you permission to get into my bubble. Which is why, again, you can't call everybody a friend. It loses its value. The first level is an acquaintance. The second level is casual. You can say friend, but like these are just people that you have casual relationships with. The next level is when deeper intimacy starts. This is where you have close friends. Close friends, this could be family or this could be friends. And this is about 25 people at most. I mean, I still think that's a pretty high number, but 25 at most, I would say probably closer to like 10 to 15. These are the people that actually know you. These are the people that you can have these deeper conversations and discussions of meaning and passion and purpose and love, and they're allowed into your house. They're allowed into these deeper parts of you and your life because they have consistently shown over time that they are respectful, that they have interest in you, that you can trust them and that they can trust you. There's vulnerability there. There is attachment there. And all of those things can only happen over a long enough period of time. These are the people that you actually can consider a friend because they earned the right to be there. They earned the right to be called a friend through time and effort and consistency. These are your real friends. And these are the people that you actually can call a friend, where it actually has value and merit. And then the fourth layer. So there's acquaintance is the most surface level. Casual friend are people that you just have fun experiences with. A close friend are the people that sincerely know you. You feel deeply seen by them. You can actually feel loved by them because they've earned that right into your life and they've earned their way into your heart. And then you have soulmate. And I don't mean soulmate in the sense of a like a love, intimacy, sexual, like romantic way. It could be that. But a soulmate is maybe 1 to 3 people. This might be your kids. This might be your best friend. This might be your partner. This might be a parent. This might be a pet. This is someone who knows the deepest levels of your soul. 1 to 3 maybe people. This is the person that knows the deepest parts of you. These are the people that know your insecurities at the most inner level. They know and understand your flaws. They are there with you when you go through the dark nights of the soul. They've earned the right to see you in the darkest of lights And they've also earned the right to be with you at the very top. These are the people, the few people who have sincerely shown you time and time and time again that they can be trusted with your heart, that they are not going to hurt you, that when challenge and harm and difficulty comes, they're going to be there. And they're not going to be perfect, but they are going to be there by your side. They're the people that when you're in the arena of life, they're the one or the few that you actually want to see you navigate it. And these are the people who have the fastest way and the closest way to break your heart because they have so much access to it. And this is why people are scared shitless of actually falling in love or of building these really deep, intimate relationships. Because if you let someone that close to you, this person is like in you. And when you let somebody that close, you're also giving them that much proximity to potentially harm you. But that's why these relationships are so meaningful. That's why these friends or these family members or these lovers, it's why we value them so much. It's why movies and songs and literature and art and poetry are made off of these relationships because it's what we crave so deeply, but we are terrified to allow ourselves to have it. It's why they're so meaningful, and it's why you can only have one to maybe three at most. Because you cannot allow that many people access like that to your heart and access to you because they haven't earned the right. And you haven't earned the right for theirs either. If you allow yourself to follow these layers and follow these steps and do the really uncomfortable work of climbing the ladder into being in somebody's life, you will eventually be able to get deeper and deeper down the funnel and have deeply meaningful relationships because you have them in all of these different ways. Because we need all four types. We need acquaintances. We need casual friends. We need close friends. And we need soulmates. And why people get in trouble in relationships and in friendships is because we don't have that from everybody. So we expect it all from one person. And that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody. It's a lot of pressure to expect somebody to be your soulmate and your best friend and your mother and your father and. It's too much pressure to put on somebody. And it's too much of a burden. So we need all of these types of relationships. And we need to know who is at what level. And if you want them to go to the next level, then you can build toward that. But you can't force it and you can't expect it right off the gate. And right off the bat, right out of the gate, that's the word, right out of the gate and right off the bat. Relationships take time to build, and they really only have the meaning when they have taken that time to be built in that way. So don't call your acquaintances friends, call them acquaintances, call them coworkers. Say the person at the store that I see all the time. Give it the nuance it deserves. People will respect you more when you do that, because if everybody is your friend, then nobody is. Nobody actually believes they're your friend if Joe Schmo and every other person off the street is a friend. Because then it's like, well, what differentiates me from them? If you want real relationships, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. You have to be willing to call an acquaintance and call a soulmate, and climb the ladder in every way in between. And I know this is really hard. This took me a really long time to learn. And I'm still not perfect at it. I want to be liked. I do. My natural default is I want people to like me. But that only gets you so far. And I'm in a phase in my life now where I'm more focused on being respected than liked. And being respected means you're going to piss people off sometimes. But that's okay because they actually do respect you more. And the people who respect you, you actually can have better types of relationships with. So be willing to be uncomfortable. Be willing to call an acquaintance and a friend a friend. Allow yourself to know that you are deserving of someone taking the time to getting to know you because you know your heart. You know what's actually in here. And you know not everybody deserves that. And if this is something that you need help with, reach out. Drop a comment down below and let me know how this resonated with you and what came up for you. Send me a DM and let's work together. I would love to be able to help you navigate this the way that I did for me and the way that I have for hundreds and hundreds of people. Clients, not friends, clients. I'll see you next time.